Alright. Alright, and we're off. So, we're up on the first stage, which is the intro stage, which can be a huge run killer for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of RNG in this stage, and a lot of mashing. So, it's pretty straightforward. You're just walking through the stage, and pretty much mashing your way through a lot of enemies. You're going to notice you're going to be taking a lot of intentional damage throughout this stage. That's because there's a cutscene with Vile at the very end that we need to lose in order to get past as fast as possible. You're going to see them upcoming on these. There's 3 different patterns you get. You just don't want them to either fire missiles or fire their machine gun. You don't want them to stand still. In Juiceboy, you got the worst pattern, which is a double passive. Thankfully, you got a health drop, which kept it alive. That was the close one. Sort of getting by the bee as well. Yeah, from here on out, the stage is pretty straightforward. You're going to be seeing them, the runners, doing a strat called Task Cars, which we're going to be pretty much destroying the cars, or riding on the cars, and taking damage on them to get rid of the excess health that we have. And we're going to continue on until we have enough health. And, ooh! Torta with a little hiccup, but he saves himself at the last second. Alright. Torta upcoming on the ship here. A nice clutch by Torta. Gets the 2 HP for Vile. I believe Juiceboy's stream might be frozen. Ah! Not a good pattern from Vile. Vile has a lot of patterns he can do. He can pick you up almost instantly, and he can also be a troll like that. We don't want him to be a troll. Alright. So now, after during Penguin stage, we're gonna see, which is the next stage. We're gonna obviously choose Chill Penguin for one simple reason, and that's just to get to Dash. So we're gonna see both of our runners go to Chill Penguin first. There we go. So there's one reason we're going to Chill Penguin, and that's just because we need the Dash boots. It's actually pretty convenient that's the first stage, because Penguin can be not great at times. Starts off straightforward, just walking through the stage, destroying enemies as you go. You're also going to see something throughout the stage. The runners are going to be utilizing the slopes throughout the stage. And if you walk down a slope and jump, your jumps are higher and you accelerate a bit faster. So you're going to see the runners utilize that to their advantage. Torta with a nice clean section. And he's come up to the dash boots now, which is going to speed up the game pretty much a lot. This is where the game really starts. It starts getting pretty fun. So we're going to go through this hallway real quick. It's kind of tricky to get through there without taking a bonk. Torta getting through there nicely, though. Upcoming is Snowball section, which there's a lot of different strats we can use for this section. Oh, Juiceboy's done with Penguin. Alright, hang on. Sorry. Torta upcoming on the boss fight. Now this boss fight is pretty tricky for one reason, and that's because Penguin has a ton of patterns he can do. He can do his Frost Breath, which is the optimal pattern because we can get the most DPS out of him. or damage per second. He can do his ice shards like you're seeing him do, and he can also slide, which is not very optimal because we cannot damage him while he's sliding. Ah! Torta getting frozen. Still a nice fight. And this is where the game starts getting a bit trickier as Torta enters Quanger stage. Now, Quanger stage is, it's very difficult and technical, as it is mostly a vertical-based level. So we're gonna see some nice, skilled movement climbing up the tower. Torta getting through the section pretty nicely. Ooh, getting sniped though. These turtles can be tricky. There's a damage boost strat, Torta opting out of it. Alright, now there's a bit of just a break through of the stage as the runners approach the elevator. There's pretty much nothing going on here. So, you're just free to do whatever. But then, up comes the outer climb. It's pretty technical as well. You'll see the runners using ice, which I'm going to get into later. The ice is a very special weapon that is actually pretty powerful. Upcoming is the Iceless Jump, and Torta gets it first try. The Iceless Jump is very difficult. It's a 1 to 2 pixel window, and you're going to be doing a 7 pixel kick, which is the farthest you can be away from the wall while still kicking off of it. And you have 1 or 2 pixels to kick off of it, and Torta does it no problem. Yes, Shotgun Ice has Shotgun Ice can be used for projectiles, and it can also do a ton of damage, also we'll see in Mandrill. Now you see Torta's baiting Quanger into doing a headbang. It's a pretty quick way to kill Quanger. Basically, if he does this headbang and you jump, he'll be baited into it, doing it again, and he'll most likely do it until he's on half health. Either way, a very clean stage by Torta. And he'll be moving on to Eagle. Now, I'm getting no response from Juiceboy's stream, but Torta's going to be going over to Eagle third. Which is, there's a trick in Eagle called the Magic Carpet, and it's pretty much the full reason why the runners do the Iceless. We'll see if Torta's gonna get it. There's a few pixel window in order to get this trick. Oh no! Torta goes for it, for the platform, and accidentally misses it. It's fine, he can still recover. And that looks good, yeah. Nice carpet by Torta. Basically what you're seeing here is something called a Phantom Grab. And basically, if you load in an item in your boomerang, 1 frame before a grabbable item appears, you'll be able to load it into your boomerang, which is what Torta did there. Apparently the game thinks that the platform is a grabbable item, which is pretty much the reason why we're able to do what we're doing. You'll see a ton of different Phantom Grabs throughout the run. Well, depending on your route, you'll be doing more. But with the Eagle third route that Torta's doing, you'll only see carpet and maybe another one in Armadillo stage, but we're not there yet. Now there's a couple different routes in this game. runners usually diverge. I know Juice does a route Chameleon third, which adds an extra Phantom grab, but saves a bit of time if you get it first try. Which allows you to fight Eagle with C-Sting, but with Torta over here, he's gonna have to fight him with Buster, which can be a pain if Eagle dives a ton. Also, one thing to mention, you'll see runners doing Dash Lemons. Now, Dash Lemons actually do 2 damage, which is and they travel pretty fast, and you don't have to charge. So it's pretty useful. And Torta getting a nice pattern. Clean run by Torta so far. Got first try Iceless Carpet and a Diveless Eagle. Yeah, Juice is a bit ahead on his stream. Unfortunately, I got no idea what went on, so I'm just having to go off of Torta's stream right now. Anyways, Torta moving into Flame Mammoth stage. It's a pretty straightforward stage. You're just getting all the items of it because 100%, obviously. There is going to be a possible run killer of the capsule climb that hopefully Torta's able to get. Okay, nice. Torta getting the capsule climb. There is a possibility you fall off the capsule and it loses a ton of time because you have to revisit Mammoth stage if you fall off because there's no possible way of getting back up there unless you use the Ice Sled, which this gives you the Buster upgrade, and you can't use the Ice Sled until you get the upgrade, so you get what I mean. Torta using an Ice Sled to boost his way up to the sub-tank. And utilizing the boomerang to grab the heart. He's struggling a bit here, it's a bit tricky. Okay, nice. Had a bit of trouble with it, but it's still fine. Probably won't be able to talk about the different routes too much, just because of the desync problem, but I'll try my best. Yeah, after you get all the items, Flame Mammoth stage really isn't too hard, it's just straightforward from there. And with a straightforward stage, we have a straightforward boss as well. You should be able to hit pretty much every tornado. You're able to get double hits on Mammoth if you do it a particular way. And Torta doing it with no problem at all. Very clean run by Torta so far. Yeah, Flame Mammoth, not Self, is not very difficult. Again, I apologize that I cannot talk about the route differences because of the desync. I'll try my best, though. Anyways, remember how I was talking about Shotgun Ice? Well, we're gonna hopefully see some utilization of the Shotgun Ice in Mandrill stage, as it is a very technical stage as well. You'll see Torta using the ice a lot throughout the stage, and that's because whenever you fire the ice, there's several different shards that go off. But if you get close enough to an enemy, you're able to get all the shards into the enemy with a lot of damage to be done to the enemy, like you're seeing right there. And we utilize that throughout this hallway right here. Wow, an amazing hallway by Torta. No bonks whatsoever. Slimer decided not to bubble him. If he had bubbled him, he would have been stuck for a bit. That would not have been great. Anyways, rest of the stage, still pretty technical. We're gonna see, I believe Torta goes for Paul Heart? No, he doesn't. There's another way of getting that heart, which is a bit faster. Torta opts to do it the other way, which still doesn't lose that much time. Either way, very clean stage from Torta. And we'll be able to use the Shotgun Ice in Mandrill Fight as well, which, if you've played the game, you know that you can pretty much cheese the Mandrill Fight, and the runners are going to do that as well, but a bit more optimally. You see, when he's ice, there is a certain amount of time that you can hit him, and he's out of iframes, so that's why you'll see him be shooting them even when they're still in ice. Man, Torta getting a ton of punches, which is pretty rough, but still. Good fight, good stage. Well, now that Juice is there, we're going to talk about the route change, which is the Chameleon third route. He's going to be trying to Phantom Grab a heart without the water. It's pretty tricky. Hopefully he'll be able to get it. Or hopefully he did get it. Nice! First try C3 from Juice. Again, sorry we're talking about it so late. That Phantom Grab allows us to go fight Eagle with C-Sting, and allows for some different movement in a couple different stages, such as Octo, Mammoth, Mandrill, and all the other stages are changed because of C-Sting. Because Charge C-Sting allows you to be pretty much invincible throughout while it's active. We're going to see that being used in the Sigma Castle, but you're allowed to use it a lot earlier. Feels like you're cheating almost when you're using it. It's a pretty cool weapon. Now we're going to see Torta upcoming on the carts here, and there's going to be a bit of tech here on the carts. You're going to see Torta right here on the carts. He's going to be jumping, and you're going to notice the birds aren't spawning. The birds only spawn where you're on a cart at certain points. So if you jump, the game sees you're not on the cart, and so they won't trigger the birds, which saves a lot of time because of all the lag that happens. And now for the Armadillo Fight. This boss can be... It was nice to Torta, but this boss can be pretty mean. He can roll for a very long time if he chooses to, which is a great example of all the luck that happens in this game. And Torta, with a nice Dillo stage, is moving on to Octo stage. Which also does look simple, but there is a lot to this stage. It's very scary. There's a lot of spikes everywhere, a lot of movement. It's tricky. Oh, and the boss is RNG as well, so that makes it just as hard. Already getting through that section untouched. Now, the submarine's weaknesses are Rolling Shield. We're going to be using Rolling Shield for the first one. Well, we'll see it for Torta's end. We're going to be seeing him using Rolling Shield. And using Spark for the second one. Nice submarines by Torta. Using a charged tornado to kill that submarine. And Juiceboy with the carpet as well. Carpet from both runners. This is a nice run. Nice race from both runners. Despite the desync. We'll see a lot of utilization of charged tornado in this stage. Including to kill an upcoming mini-boss. In just a second. So, you're gonna notice there's a mini-boss that's supposed to be here, but yeah, Torta beats it before it even comes out of the ground. It's pretty fast. It's pretty sick as well. And after all that, it's Octo time. Now, Octo, there's a couple different patterns he can do. The one thing we don't want him to do is we don't want him to do his tornadoes, because that loses time. And you would have to jump into the tornado to get him out. But it looks like... Oh, I jinxed it. Now, you saw Torta use the fire there to get out of that. The old strat was to basically just mash your way out. But you can also use fire to get out of that. You see Juiceboy fighting Eagle with C-Sting, which is much faster with C-Sting than with Buster. And that's one of the main reasons why C3 is such a good route for, like, optimally playing. But we're going to see some differences in Chameleon stage than we did with Juice on Torta's end, because we're going to see water in the stage. And it's going to be a lot easier to get through the stage in this route. I forgot to talk about GBD. So, Green Biker Dad, we're going to be using, I believe, 5 Dash Lemons and 18 Boomerangs. Now, his weakness is Boomerangs, but we can't use all of them because we have to save some for Sting Chameleon, because that is his weakness. And, obviously, if we don't have enough, the boss fight is going to take forever. So, it's just best to use 5 Dash Lemons and 18 Boomerangs. And a nice fight from Torta. I believe there hasn't been a major mess up by Torta yet this run. I mean, besides Eagle, he's been playing pretty cleanly so far, as well as Juice. Torta grabbing the heart. Torta able to get it a lot easier because of the water. A lot safer, and yeah, it's a lot safer than the Phantom Grab. And if we look on Juice's end, we'll see him using the Charge C-Sting, which allows you to be invincible throughout the entire stage, or not throughout the entire stage, while it's active. You're going to see that a bit in Mandrill, I believe, as well. So the desync, while it's kind of not great, it allows me to talk about the differences through the routes. We're upcoming on Chameleon Fight right here, and of course, this is the most straightforward fight in the entire game, most likely. I mean, besides Mammoth. All you have to do is fire Boomerangs. It's pretty much a scripted fight. You do have to do a Dash Lemon at the end, but that's about it. Pretty simple fight, and a great 8 nows by Torta. And now for the revisits. There's still 2 more items we need. 3 more items we need to get. We need to get the sub-tank from Armadillo, the heart from Penguin, and the Hadoken. Which, the Hadoken, we're going to need to see a certain spot on Armadillo stage 5 times, which we saw once in the original. But we're not there yet, so let's just talk about Penguin Visit, which is pretty just straightforward. Get through the stage as fast as possible and get to the heart. However, if we look on Juice's end, we did see him utilize the C-Sting that he got from doing Chameleon early. There's a lot of benefits to C3. That being one of them, where he can utilize C-Sting throughout the run. Get through it, no problem. Torta is able to use it now that he's beaten Sting Chameleon, and as you see, it's very useful throughout the run. Breaking open it with the fire, getting the heart, and exiting. Torta on his way to Armadillo revisits. Now, you do have to get the sub-tank before we do get the Hadoken. So, I don't believe Torta goes for the Phantom Grab, but once Juice's stream gets there, we'll be able to talk about the Armadillo Phantom Grab. Because he does go for it, I believe. Section is pretty laggy. You're going to have to do some dash jumps in order to avoid sprites on screen. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward from here. It's just, like, movement from here. Don't have to worry about any more items except the Hadoken. Which, the Hadoken, again, you have to see a certain spot 5 times, and we need 3 deaths in order to see this. We saw it once in Armadillo, and see it on the final time, but we're gonna see Torta dying on purpose 3 times. Again, jumping off the cart over and over again to despawn the birds. And we'll see a certain spot behind that health, the blue sky behind that health at the top. We have to see that 5 times in order to spawn the Hadoken. But now that Juice is at Armadillo stage, I can talk about the Armadillo, which he's going to be attempting right now. Just off. In order to get the Armadillo Phantom Grab, we need a drop from one of the bats, and we need to be on a certain pixel. And we'll be able to get the sub-tank early, which saves around 6 or 7 seconds on the first try, but we do get a second try, and that'll save like 4 or 5 seconds on the second try. Not much to talk about here with Torta. Just dying over and over and over again. It can be a pretty boring part of the speedrun. Okay. I thought he was going to be pushed into the door, because that is a possibility. You can be pushed into the door, and that's not good, because that loses a ton of time. I believe Torta's on his... I believe it's his 3rd? Is it? Maybe it's his 4th, I haven't been counting. There we go. So, this is the Hadoken. It's a requirement for 100%. It can one-shot almost every boss. There's a couple exceptions, but it can almost one-shot every boss. And Torta make his way to the Sigma stages. Now, the Sigma stages, it's a make or break. There's a lot of stuff going on in these stages. A lot of tech, a lot of movement. And we're starting off the bat with, I believe Torta goes for Leap of Faith. I'm gonna have to see. Basically, let's see if he gets it first. Nice leap. Gonna have, it's a bit precise. You have to basically non-stop jump off the platform to platform. And we're gonna see Torta taking some intentional damage, and that's because we have another fight to lose with Vile. And he's gonna actually skip the cutscene before it, as we just saw. If you don't touch the ground, the cutscene won't spawn. And we're gonna see some freaky stuff in here, but this is all intentional, and it saves a good chunk of time. There is a risk of soft locking, but it's small, and Torta avoids that. And now we get to see the first utilization of the Hadoken, with Torta going to one-shot the boss. Hopefully. Don't want to jinx it. Okay, you got it. So, in order to use the Hadoken, you need to do a quarter circle, and then a quarter circle forward or backward, depending on the direction, and then shoot. You have to have full health and be on the ground in order to use it. And the on the ground one will be important in Sigma 3. Juice getting some not great... Oh. Okay, one suck from Juice. And Torta with the nice climb. Now the second Hadoken. Quanger is a pretty straightforward Hadoken, but he can troll you by teleporting. Thankfully, he doesn't do it to Torta. Leaves him alone. And now we move on to the main boss of the stage. the spider. Spider, you have to be able to know the patterns. And it takes a bit to learn how to read the patterns, but once you get it down, it's not the worst in the world. There is a bit of RNG to it. He can drop his babies. Yike. Torta misses the Hadoken, but he clutches it. Second try still. Things going smoothly for Torta so far. Juice in his Penguin Ruse it as well. I can't tell who's ahead again because of the desync. Torta moving on to Sigma 2. And Sigma 2, in any percent, it's a lot of RNG. Thankfully, in 100%, we're able to just Hadoken the two bosses. That would normally cause us a lot of trouble without it. Alright, we're gonna see Torta doing Penguin Hadoken and Juice attempting the Armadillo Fight. And... just off again. It is very difficult to get that Phantom Grab. Torta making his way through the Sig 2 pretty smoothly. Making his way up to Eagle. Now let's talk about the upcoming boss after Eagle. Boss called Rangnavangta, which is a lot of RNG to that boss. We want to be able to do Hadoken the boss, but it does not one-shot it. We have to one-shot, we can kill the eyes in one shot, but we can't kill the entire thing in one. So, we want the eyes to be in reach of a Hadoken. So we want a blue eye into a moving red eye. So let's see what pattern Torta gets. Got a blue eye, and then a close. Still a good pattern. He could have gotten a green eye, which is the worst pattern. It just stands there like an idiot, doesn't do anything, just makes you lose time. It's pretty frustrating to get. Thankfully, Torta doesn't get it. And Torta's past Sig 2 and moving it on to Sig 3. Which has a lot of stuff going on. Starting off with the Armadillo refight, which hopefully we'll be able to skip. Okay, nice. So, what Torta did there is he used an ice sled to push himself through the door at a specific point. If the camera doesn't pan up, Armadillo won't spawn, and it saves a good chunk of time. And now he's gonna... Hopefully, he's gonna be able to put an ice sled in the wall and Hadoken it from there. On Chameleon. Ooh, he gets it. Now, the requirement I was talking about earlier, with being on the ground, that came into play here. Torta had to be on that ice sled in order to do that Hadoken. He had to cancel off of it, and then had a very specific window in order to get that Hadoken off. It's pretty sick if you get it. Now, the rest of the stage... it's just Hadokening the rest of the bosses. We won't see any too difficult Hadokens until the end of the stage. Meanwhile, Juice going into Leap of Faith. And he gets it as well. Great race by both runners so far. Torta with Octopado. No trouble whatsoever. This has been a super clean run by Torta and Juice. We're gonna see Torta here hopefully doing some dash jumps rather than normal dashes. Again, because sprites cause a lot of lag in that area. So we want to avoid using dust sprites by dash jumping. Oh no. Ooh. Nice clutch by Torta. He accidentally gets hit by Mammoth, but he manages to save it at the last second. Alright, and now the final boss of the stage, D-Rex. And Torta with a Hadoken on it as well. In order to Hadoken that boss, it's a bit tricky. You have to dash up to it and jump on him and do a Hadoken. Torta does it no trouble whatsoever. This has been a pretty clean run by Torta so far. I believe this looks like a PB pace for him right now, if all goes well. Which is pretty sick. On his way up to Sig 4. Now, since both runs are desynced, we're just gonna see which time is faster. Fortunately, I believe. Alright, just 2 Hadokens left for Torta. Dog Hado. A bit of trouble on the climb for Juice. It's fine. Still gets up there. Jedi Hado for Torta. And now for the final boss, it takes 16 rolling shields to kill him because we cannot Hadoken the final boss in this game. So we're gonna see Torta be doing 16 rolling shields onto the boss. And getting trolled by the claws, blocking him. Alright. And time. Looks like 37:01, 37 flat by Torta. That's a PB for him. GG to Torta. Amazing run. Alrighty. Juice Boy onto Sigma 2. Struggling a bit. He's on to Penguin Hado. GG to Torta, though. Very clean run. Very difficult to get good runs, especially on a no reset run. That was very close to a 36. Yeah, let's just watch Juice Boy's Sigma Fortress. Gets the Eagle Hado. Very nice. Now, hopefully we'll see Juice get a good Rainda pattern, which again is a blue eye into a moving red eye. So, let's see what he gets. Okay, a blue eye. And a moving red eye. Oh no! He gets the good Rainda pattern. He struggles a bit, but it's okay. It's still a bit tricky to execute right. Hopefully Juice's Sig 3 goes well. Yes, Sting Chameleon as the third stage is the riskiest, but also fastest method. because you're able to fight Eagle with Sea Sting. Okay. Sketchy but successful Dillo skip by Juice. Yeah, risky. If you miss the C3 Phantom Grab, you pretty much die. And yeah, no water for the tank is... you have two options. You can Phantom Grab it, or you can use an Iceless to jump over there. And the fastest is just the Phantom Grab, so that we can fight Eagle with it. And a nice air Hada from Juice as well, by the way. Again, I didn't get to really talk about the route too much, just because the desync kind of had made me switch my plans of commentary, but it all worked out. Clean run by Juice as well. He got the C3 grab first try, I believe. Got Carpet. I didn't see his Iceless attempt. X2, there is no backtracking X2 for any percent or 100%, which gets all items in both times. And that's the only game out of the 3 games that you don't backtrack for 100%. Juice moving on to Mammoth Hado, and then D-Rex Hado. So, run is almost over. We'll see, hopefully he gets a successful Hado on D-Rex as well. And he does. Both runners getting Dillo Skip, Air Hado, and D-Rex. Impressive. Very clean Sig 3 by both runners. Looks like Juice, based on his time, is gonna finish with around a mid-36, if nothing goes completely wrong. Yeah, the music isn't gonna be as great with Sigma. Alright, 2 more Hadokens for Juice. He gets a Dog Hado successfully. Now for Jedi Hado. And a nice Jedi Hado from Juice as well. 16 rolling shields away from finishing. Alright. Clean fight so far by Juice. Claws being nice, and he's executing extremely well. And that's time. Looks like a 36-34? 36-35. Looks like Juice technically had the faster time. He won. Torta also PB'd though. Amazing runs by both runners. That was fun to watch. It's extremely difficult to get a good run, especially on a no reset run, like both these runners just did, and under pressure. So, it's impressive to see both runs go extremely well for both. Especially with all the precise tricks that they had to do. His run was wet, so I win. Great race by both runners. Again, sorry for the desync. Hopefully, the run was still enjoyable, even though the desync kinda hindered things. I believe we'll be seeing Juice and Torta in here for post-game interview soon. I believe that means Juice will be advancing to semifinals. But nevertheless, congrats on the PB, Torta. Great runs. Not sure where to join for interview. Pretty sure they send you a link. I'm not entirely for sure. Either way, enjoy the Sigma music. Man, there was a lot of close calls that run as well, I believe. Juice's Dillo skip was a nice clutch. Torta had a bit of a clutch in intro as well. I believe there was somewhere else as well. Yeah, 36 if you hadn't clipped the platform. I believe clipping that platform, falling off of it, maybe have cost you, like, 15 seconds. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm guessing not. But GG's anyways to both runners. Great races. And yeah. See y'all later.